Sound is low because I don't have my microphone close to me. Let's go a little higher on the sound. All right, give me a thumbs up if the sound is better. Give me a thumbs up if the sound is better. And then we'll get right into it. All right, folks. So yeah, man, this is the biggest trial of the month right now here in Los Angeles County. Tory Lanez. His trial just started yesterday, and they are in the jury selection process. So there hasn't been opening statements or any evidence so far. So if you're interested in coming down and checking out this case, you got plenty of time. The actual evidence of this case won't get introduced until next week sometime. We're not 100% sure on what day that is because we don't know how long the jury selection process is going to take. So I got a little information about that. So let me go over that with you guys. And then I'll give you all the details and answer any questions that you might have. So let me just start off with opening state. I'm sorry, jury selection is expected to take anywhere from five. Supposed to take 5 days. So that means yesterday, Monday, today, Tuesday, and the rest of this week. So if jury selection goes according to schedule, we should be in opening statements on Monday, December 12th. And that's going to be in downtown Los Angeles. Let me just pull up a calendar. So Monday, December 12th is supposed to be opening statements. And that's when you want to come down and check out this court and check out this trial if you're interested. If you're in the Los Angeles area, it's going to be in downtown Los Angeles in the criminal courts building on the 5th floor. And it's going to be in Division 132, Department 132. So if you got a cell phone, you might want to leave it in the car, or they're gonna lock it up in a bag for you. So keep that in mind. All right. So I got the microphone a little bit closer to me. Sorry if the audio is kind of low. Um, all right. So where was I at? Now, because of this is a high profile trial, they got a whole bunch of rules that everyone's going to have to abide by. And first and foremost, they are not allowing, well, this is not really a new rule, but cell phones haven't been allowed into the courtrooms in high profile cases for about the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, probably right before COVID hit. They haven't been allowing cell phones, and unless you're with the media. So that rule is still in effect for this case. But one of the rules that's a little bit different in this case is that they're not even allowing laptops. And and that's for the media as well. Now the media is allowed to take in cell phones as long as you have a credential pass, an official pass. So for example, this was my pass for Eric Holder, the Eric Holder case. It's a little out of focus. But as long as you have an official pass, you can bring your cell phone in. But even with a pass, they are not allowing laptops. So that's for everyone, including media. So because they're not allowing cameras in the courtroom either, we're not going to have opening statements, closing statements, or even the verdict on camera, and no camera's going to be allowed for that. So that's a little bit different from the Eric Holder trial, where the judge didn't allow cameras during the trial, during the evidence part of the case, but he allowed cameras in for opening statements, closing statements, and for verdict. In this trial, they are not going to have cameras in for any part of it. So I know a lot of people are disappointed in that. And that's a decision that the judge ultimately makes, usually in conjunction with the defense attorney and the prosecutor. But it's the judge's call. And in this case, we have Judge David Hereford. Judge David Hereford, who's a judge that I worked with before. Judge Hereford was before he became the judge about I think he became judge in 2010. Prior to him being a judge, he was a criminal defense attorney, and I actually worked with this judge on maybe one or two cases. I don't remember exactly, but he's I always love when judges were former criminal defense attorneys. You know, most judges are prosecutors, former prosecutors, but actually David Hereford used to be a prosecutor in the 80s. Then he went into private practice, became a criminal defense attorney, and now he's a judge, and I think he's a very good judge. So Tory Lanez should be very happy with the judge that was selected for this case because he's very fair. From everything I hear about him, he's a very fair judge. But he decided no cameras in this trial at all. Period. But they will have a sketch artist. In fact, they're going to have two additional seats will be available in the courtroom for sketch artists. So I don't know how much people really care about looking at the drawings that take place in court. They always have sketch artists in federal court because cameras are never allowed in federal court. So you see those drawings often in federal cases. So there will be some sketches of what's going on in this trial. And of course, the sketches are only to be of the judge, the defense attorney, the prosecutor, and the defendant, of course, and the bailiff. So you might get some drawings of all those people. And what else? So let me give you a timeline of how long I expect this trial to go for, because we're coming up to a holiday here, and I'm not 100% certain that we're going to get to this trial before the holiday. So let me just go over that timeline. So today is Tuesday, December 6th. We're expected jury selection to last for the rest of the week. That's going to take us to Friday, December 9th. So if that goes according to schedule, we're going to have opening statements Monday on December 12th. And according to the court, this trial is expected to last from 5 to 7 days. So that's either means from the 12th to the 16th or from the 12th to the 20th. So 5 to 7 days. And you know, as many times as I've been going to court, it never goes it never goes according to schedule. Like at least 90% of the time it doesn't go according to schedule. So I wouldn't be surprised if this trial went a couple more days. So let's say instead of finishing on the 20th or the 21st, let's say it goes to the 22nd. Then it goes to the jury, and you got to give the jury at least a day or two to deliberate. So if they get this case on the 22nd, they may deliberate on Friday the 23rd. And then guess what? Christmas. And Christmas is going to be observed by the court on December 26th. So that means there's no court on Monday. So it's really close if this trial will be finished by December 23rd, before Christmas. In order for this whole case to be finished before Christmas, the jury has to come back with their verdict on December 23rd. It's possible, but I would say that it's more likely that they won't be done by the 23rd. So that's pretty much what the schedule is going to look like for the trial. And I should be in court. I should be in court pretty much every day starting on opening statements on December 12th. And I'll provide a live recap of each day, just like I did the Eric Holder trial. Now, the Eric Holder trial went 9 days. There was 9 days of testimony, and they're expecting a shorter trial here, 5 to 7 days. So that's pretty much all I have regarding this trial. Let me see if you guys got any questions. Let me see here. Tory makes some amazing music, but he's goofy. Well, let me also add that they added a couple of more charges to his case just yesterday. So he's looking at a couple of more charges, but it's not going to cost him any more time if he's found guilty. All of these charges will run consecutively if he's found guilty of any of them. I believe they added the charge of reckless use of a firearm, and he's looking at a total. If I believe he's looking at a max of 5, 7 years. Not exactly sure. I got to check that. Yeah, and if he is found guilty, that last charge is a deportable offense. So he will do his time. Let's say he gets 3 years, 4 years, 5 years in prison. After he does those 3 years in the California Department of Corrections, he will be deported to Canada. And I don't think he'll be allowed in the United States for, could be 10 years. He might be um, deported and not allowed here for 10 years. Don Z asks which court. That's going to be in Department 132. 132 is on the 15th floor. So they don't have double security as they do on the 9th floor. So you just walk in, you walk in the courtroom in the lobby, you go through security there, and then you just take the elevator up to the 15th floor, and it's Department 132, and that's Judge David Hereford. And what's interesting here is that this trial is going to be going on the same day that Eric Holder has a hearing on December 19th. So Eric Holder has a hearing regarding his conviction for killing Nipsey Hussle on December 19th. That's a Monday. And Tory Lanez should be still in trial. He probably will still be in trial on, let's see, should still be in trial on December 19th. They should be wrapping it up around the 19th, 20th, 21st. So let's see what else we got here. Some dumb spammers in here. Um Tory seems confident about this case. I mean, you have to be confident when you're going on trial. You got to be confident. You got to feel good. He has a new lawyer. He switched up lawyers. So someone said that the sound was trash. I'm assuming that was before I elevated the levels here. Um, do I think he really? Do I think he really shot Tory? Shot her? I don't want to pass judgment at this point because I haven't really seen the evidence. I don't want to go by media reports, articles. I'd rather sit there and listen to the evidence before I make a determination, a judgment on whether or not I think he shot her. Um, I know it seems overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming against him based on media reports, based on what a lot of people have said on YouTube and other platforms. But I have no idea. You know, he's innocent until proven guilty. So as of right now, he's innocent. What kind of camera do I have here? I have a Canon 5D DSLR camera with a nice lens. I believe that's a zoom 105 lens. Let's see here. What time should you arrive to get a seat? Well, I would say there's going to be a line for people to get in this courtroom, and I'm going to be there by 8 a.m. Between 8 a.m. and 8:15 a.m., I'm going to get there because check-in is 8:30 for the media. Check-in is 8:30, or check-in is by 8:30. So that means I need to be there between 8 and 8:15. And if you're coming there just to check out the trial, I would get there at 8 a.m. because they're going to start to assemble a line outside the courtroom, and they're only going to let you in on a first come first serve basis. So, and I don't know how many seats are in Department 130, 132, but a lot of these courtrooms are small. So get there early, 8 a.m. if you want to check it out. What else we got here? Oh, what's up? AG's in here. How many counts is he actually being charged with? I haven't been going to the jury selection process because I'm just too busy. But I recommend reading Nancy Dillon's article from the Rolling Stone, and she pretty much outlines all the charges that he's facing, and then the new charges that he just got hit with yesterday. So I briefly read over the article, but I know one of them is reckless use of a firearm. If I was on StreamYard, I'd pull the article up on here and share the screen, but I'm doing a direct to YouTube live, so I don't have those. I don't have those capabilities here. What else we got? Do you think it will be a bigger turnout than the Eric Holder case? I definitely think it's going to be a bigger turnout than the Eric Holder case because Eric Holder wasn't really a celebrity. He became an infamous celebrity, but not the type of celebrity that a whole bunch of people are going to come to court for. But Tory Lane has fans. He has fans, and he's in Los Angeles, and I would expect a nice crowd, a small crowd. We'll see. We'll see. Why would Meg lie? She has no reason to lie, Luck AP says. Actually, Megan admitted that she originally lied. So she originally stated that nothing happened, and then she changed her story to something did happen. So she did lie. It's just now we got to figure out which of her stories is the truth. S- Chef Chief says, I don't think it's possible to be shot in the foot without breaking any bones. Do you think it's possible to be shot in the foot and not break any bones? I definitely believe it's definitely possible to get shot and not break a bone. In fact, sometimes bullets will stop at the bone or ricochet off the bone inside your body. You got to remember, it depends on the caliber of the weapon and also the angle or the trajectory of that bullet. So bullets can do all kind of things, but it all depends. And if you really want to get specific, it depends on the wind, the wind, how much humidity's in the air. All of that is a factor in determining how much damage a bullet does or doesn't do. The distance that he was from her, or did the bullet hit the ground first and then go into her foot? Bullets often will hit something else and then hit the person, which will slow the bullet down. So, yeah, it's all possible. It's all possible. Will Tory's security from that night testify? I don't know, but we definitely have some of the witnesses that are going to testify. So, I got a short list here of witnesses that are going to testify. One of them is going to be obviously Megan, the stallion. Her name's Megan Pete. Her friend Kelsey Harris is expected to testify. This is the girl that Megan was friends with. Megan and Kelsey were really tight. And since this incident, they haven't been friends. She's expected to testify. I expect the doctor to explain the wounds to testify. Detective Ryan Stogner from the LAPD is going to testify. And that's all I have on my list. I'm not sure if any of the security, but we'll find all that out next Monday. If trial starts on Monday, we'll get a better sense of who's going to testify. But all you got to do is go back to the preliminary hearing. Everyone who testified at the preliminary hearing is expected to testify in this trial, and plus they have some more witnesses. So she said so cops wouldn't come in killing. Oh, yeah, you're saying she lied because she was concerned about what the cops were going to do. Okay. That's certainly possible. And we have to wait for the trial. GD Network says another internet sleuth. No, I don't. I don't go on the internet trying to solve murders or homicides, and I look at videos and try to implicate people. Never. It's never been done here. Especially open homicide case is absolutely not going to be analyzed on this channel. Some things that I will analyze, which I haven't done yet, but I would analyze a shooting, officer involved shooting. There's a couple of officer involved shootings that I've personally analyzed, but I haven't done them online or on YouTube. But no, I don't. I think that a lot of people were very irresponsible in the way they analyzed the shooting of Takeoff. I mean, people from Jay Prince Jr. to Takeoff's man, Quavo, all kind of people were implicated and identified. So nah, that's called sleuthing, and we don't do that over here. What about the Nip case? What about the Nip case? Tory messed up. Why would he have a gun at Kylie's crib? Makes no sense. I don't know if he had a gun at Kylie's crib. We won't know until the trial. We won't know until next week what really happened. Don Z, as he wonders if Kelsey Harris is going to be a witness for the prosecution or for the defense. Well, she was subpoenaed by the prosecution during the preliminary hearing, so she'll probably be a witness for both, similar to the way that Cowboy during the Eric Holder trial, he was a witness for the prosecution, but then the defense called him as well. The defense found some value in bringing Cowboy back, and they testified. They had him on the stand to testify for the defense. Um, so Kelsey is definitely going to be a witness for the prosecution, but of course the defense can call her to be a witness as well. She probably has information that will be beneficial to both sides. We'll see. Chief says, I heard it was glass of the victim's foot, not a slug. You know, we can't really go by bloggers, wannabe investigators. I mean, I've read the same reports, but I already know that I would say that 60%, sometimes 70% of what we read about a case is incorrect once it goes to trial. Once it goes to trial, you learn how much was incorrect, how much was just rumors, how much was gossip. And just take the Eric Holder case, for example. How much information did we find out that was completely untrue? I mean, I learned that the girl who drove Eric Holder, she wasn't a gang member, but there were so many internet articles and reports and videos that she was a gang member from Hoover's. No, that was completely untrue. This girl never gang banged a day in her life. That was a completely different photo. They had a picture of a girl who had nothing to do with Eric Holder. You know, so there's always so much information that you find out was completely untrue once you go to trial. So I don't know. EW says Tory innocent. Hey, innocent until proven guilty. As of today, he's innocent to me. He's innocent to me until that jury deliberates and comes back with a verdict. And he still might be innocent. And a lot of times I don't even read most of the stuff on the internet regarding a case because I already know 60-75% of it is untrue. And you can test it out. Go back and look, go back to 2019 after Nipsey got killed on March 31st and read all the videos that people did and the articles, and you can just see right there in black and white how many things were untrue. Don Z says we found out that Eric Holder was not a snitch at trial. Well, we found out that no one ever produced any evidence that he was a snitch. No one ever was able to produce any evidence. I don't know if he was or not, because that really wasn't the focus of the trial. The trial wasn't there. The trial wasn't to make any determinations on whether or not he told in a case before. That's pretty much irrelevant. But we learned, here we are almost 4 years later, and no one has been able to produce any paperwork on Eric Holder. So that might have been untrue. That definitely a rumor that was spreading around. There was another rumor that spread around that Eric Holder's family was getting shot and killed after he got arrested. That turned out to be untrue. No one in his family was shot or killed. None of his relatives were shot or killed. I mean, if we sat here, I could probably come up with 20 lies. Maybe we won't call them lies, but 20 rumors that turned out not to be true. 20 rumors. In fact, I just gave myself an idea for a video. 20 rumors about the Eric Holder Nipsey Hussle case that turned out to be untrue. We won't call them lies, but sometimes with this whole social media and YouTube and internet thing, people are deliberately putting out salacious information out there to get views, to bring more attention to their channels and their platforms. If he was a snitch on record, it would have been produced. Hey, I know people that are snitches and it's on record, and no one has went down to the archives to get because people are just lazy. So you could be a snitch and no one produces any records for years, maybe 5 years, 10 years. So I have no idea of what happened, but I know it's been 4 years since Nipsey's been killed, going on 4 years, and no one's been able to prove anything or produce any paperwork. So, but one of the things we did learn in the Eric Holder trial is his rap sheet. You know, he doesn't really have a lengthy arrest record. He has a pretty short arrest record for a guy who was 29 years old at the time he was arrested. So, and you can go check out the exhibits. I posted all the exhibits to that case. Go to streetgangs.com, and I did two different articles. One is called the 101 exhibits presented by the prosecution, and the other one is the exhibits presented by the defense. And one of those exhibits is his rap sheet, all his arrests. You don't need paperwork for snitching. That's a possibility in some instances, but we definitely want paperwork. We need paperwork if you're going to make those strong allegations against somebody. Yeah, somebody would have produced that. Yeah, most likely somebody would have produced it by now. I don't know. All right, let me just wrap this up. Tory Lanez jury selection process started yesterday, Monday, and it is expected to last for the rest of this week. So that's about 5 days of jury selection. Opening statements are scheduled for the 12th, Monday, December 12th. And according to the court, this trial is expected to last from 5 to 7 days. 5 to 7 days. And that could possibly take us into December 19th, December 20th, or the 21st. I don't know how many witnesses they're going to bring for this case, But I know in the Eric Holder case, they brought 20 witnesses. It took 9 days for 20 witnesses. I don't think we'll see 20 witnesses in this case. I don't think we'll see 20 witnesses. So we'll probably see somewhere, if they're expecting 5 to 7 day trial, I would say that it should be somewhere around between 9 and 12 witnesses. And you know that Megan the Stallion is going to be on the stand all day when she comes to court. It may take her the entire day to testify because you know the defense is going to cross-examine her on everything she says to the prosecution. So she's probably going to be the longest witness out of all of them. And then you know what? I would think that the girlfriend, the other girl, Miss Kelsey Harris, she's probably going to be at least half a day on the stand. But all the other witnesses will be very quick, meaning like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, less than an hour. So, yeah. All right, let me see a couple of these questions before I wrap it up. If the victim lied then, the testimony is incredible in court. Hey, that's tough, man. That's tough. That's tough. Um, and she also gave some interviews. Here's another thing. Now, remember in Eric Holder trial, they brought in some interviews that Cowboy had done, and they also brought in some videos, some lives that he had done. Megan has done at least one long interview, and she's done at least 4 or 5 live Instagram video rants. So we might see some of this footage either from her Instagram live rants that she did or from the interview she did on what show was that? Was that Good Morning America? She did an interview for Gail with Gail King. So we might see some of that come into this case, especially from the defense. She's going to be crying a river on the stand. Well, if she cries and it looks good, she might win the sympathy of the jury. And they might think, hey, if she's crying and she's probably telling the truth, that's how some jurors think. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be effective for her or not. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're picking the jury right now. They're picking the jury, and each side is trying to pick jurors that are going to see through all the BS and not be influenced or swayed by emotion. So she's going to be. Don Z says, "Do you think rap lyrics are going to be used in this case? If Tory Lanez has some songs about using guns, yeah." Actually, you know what? No, because of the law. We have a new law. Forgot about that. Gavin Newsom signed the new law that says you cannot use rap lyrics. And that law, I believe that law is in effect already. Let me look this up really quickly. I believe that yeah, California restricts use of rap lyrics in criminal court cases. Governor Gavin Newsom signs landmark California bill, AB 2799. AB 2799. It prevents prosecutors from using rap lyrics against any artists. And so no, I don't expect to see. I take that back. It doesn't matter. Even if Tory has a song where he's talking about pulling guns out and shooting women, they should not be able to use that because of the new law here in California. But don't be surprised that other states will use rap lyrics because that's a California law. Chief says he's not taking sides, but the facts don't favor the victim at all. Well, let me give you a little pushback on that because you haven't heard the facts. You don't know what the facts are. None of us know what the facts are. The facts are only what we're going to see in the trial. Those are the facts that matter. Those are the only facts that matter. Those are the only facts that matter for Tory Lanez. So we don't know what those facts are. You can't say that the facts based on what you saw on YouTube or the facts based on a blogger's article. Unfortunately, those aren't the facts. It's AG says he hopes Tory's lawyers peeped all those interviews. Well, I peeped out 3 or 4 Instagram live rants that she gave, and I don't remember what the issues were, but when I was watching them, I was like, wow, this guy hasn't even went to trial yet. Are you trying to convict this dude on an Instagram live? That's what Megan Thee Stallion was doing in a couple of her Instagram lives. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those Instagram lives come into court or the interview she gave with Gayle King. I think that there were some statements that she gave in that interview that might have been a little contradictory. So we'll see. If you guys remember that interview, you might think of some points of that interview that might come back to haunt her. Don Z asks, will that rap law AB 20 AB what is it AB 2299 is that being in effect for 2022? I believe so. I believe that it actually was one of those laws that went into effect as soon as he signed it. Let me double check on that because sometimes the law won't go into effect until like the following year. But I believe that goes into effect. Let's see here. California. Let me go through this article real quick, and we'll find out if Tory Lanez lyrics can be used in December of 2022. Because the bill was signed just a few months ago. California has become the first state to restrict the use of rap lyrics as evidence in court. I'm reading an article on vulture.com. On Friday, Governor Gavin Newsom hopped on a Zoom with rappers to sign the landmark bill into law. In a press release, the Black Music Coalition called the move a crucial step in the right direction, pointing to the recent indictment of Young Thug and Gunna. Decriminalizing Artistic Expression Act, or AB 2799, makes it more difficult to use creative expression. Now, let me also add, I remember that if your rap lyrics are actually consistent with a real crime, with something that truly happened, they can use those lyrics, but they just can't use random lyrics that you said something that sounds similar to what you're being charged with. They cannot do that anymore. Courts must now weigh the value of such evidence against the potential introduction of racial bias, and the decision cannot be made in front of a jury. This legislation sets up important guardrails that will help courts hold prosecutors accountable and prevent them from criminalizing Black and brown artistic expression. Let's see here. A similar New York bill has not made it to the governor's desk. We're trying to see when this is going to affect. For now, California remains the only state to have passed this type of bill, an accomplishment that Newsom has taken pride in. California's culture and entertainment industry set trends around the world. It doesn't give a date on when this thing goes into effect. Let me just look up one more article here. CNN.com has an article. Gavin Newsom signs bill limiting the use of rap lyrics as evidence in criminal proceedings. The new law underscores a larger national conversation around prohibiting the use of rap lyrics as evidence. Let's see. Under the new law, California courts must consider, if relevant, and provided testimony on the context of a genre of creative expression research demonstrating that the introduction of a particular type of expression introduces racial bias into proceedings, as well as evidence rebutting those findings. In addition to limiting the use of rap lyrics in California criminal court proceedings, the legislation, which passed unanimously in California State Assembly, also encompasses the use of performative art, visual art, poetry, literature, film, and other media. Let's see here. Today, we celebrate an important victory for music creators in the state of California. No date on when that goes into effect. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I'm assuming it goes into effect now. Kel says her lying about a sexual relationship with him, you know, that's going to be brought up. Oh, you are absolutely right. She was asked if she was involved in an intimate relationship with Tory Lanez, and she said no. I'm going to assume she's telling the truth because I have no evidence to know that they have. I know you're all going to say, "Hey, he's been having relations with her for a while," and if that's the case, boom, they're gonna they are going to question her credibility. They are definitely going to be questioning her credibility. What's good, Legion? She already lied about having a sexual relationship with him when she said she didn't know. Yeah, she did. I mean, if it's true that they've been together, then yeah. But then look, how do you in court? See, court is a little bit different. How do you prove that they've been intimate before? The only way they can prove that they've been intimate before is through Kelsey Harris or if Tory Lanez takes the stand. Because we got to assume that Megan is going to stick to the script. She's going to stick to whatever she said previously. But if Kelsey Harris testifies and she says, "Oh no, that they were involved," then she's in trouble. Then Megan's in trouble. Someone said the audio's out. You got to be kidding me. My audio's out again. You got to be kidding me. How's my audio? Come on now. Eloquence's Key says, I can hear. Patrick Northern says, I can hear. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up right here, man. I appreciate everybody tapping in. I'm going to be giving daily updates on this trial when opening statements happens, scheduled for December the 12th. If you're in Los Angeles, come down to the courtroom. It's kind of a historic case. It's kind of historic. Come witness some history. Is trial open? All trials are open. Jay Clay. No disrespect to you, Jay Clay, but trials all across this country are open. You could walk into any courtroom for any trial, state or federal court, and sit there and watch. That's the law of the land. That's the whole purpose, is to prosecute people and allow the public to watch it. So yeah, the trial is open, as all trials are. Kai Martin, man, I hope my audio is amazing. I got this beautiful mic right here connected in. Just making sure, due to the media attention, want to make sure space is available. Okay, space availability is a different question. because if you think a lot of people are going to show up for this trial because it's Tory Lanez, then you might not get in if the seats are full. That's a better question. Will the court be packed? Will it be a full house? I won't know until Monday, but my guess is it probably will be. It probably will be. But if you get there early, 8 a.m., you should be able to get in. So, and let me give you guys another rule that the court has. If you're in the courtroom and you decide that you want to leave to go use the restroom or whatever, you need to go use your phone or something, you won't be able to walk back in the courtroom until there's a break. They only have two breaks. There's a morning break that happens around 10:30 for about 10 minutes, and then there's an afternoon break that happens around 3 p.m. for 10 minutes. So if you walk out, you won't be able to come back in. All right. Thanks for tapping in. Alex Alonso here from Street TV. Make sure you tap in with the podcast, Streets and Scholars. I'll be talking about the trial on the podcast with FG. If you're on Apple, definitely leave a comment and a review and a rating. And if you're on any of the other platforms like iHeart or Spotify, please follow the Streets and Scholars podcast. Also, we have an Instagram page. We just started streets.and.scholars. Streets.and.scholars. Check that out. And I'll be back on live maybe Monday, whenever this trial gets going. And I'll be posting updates, video updates, and I'll be posting some written articles at streetgangs.com. Thanks for tapping in.